Viewers at home can see this is our Cannon guy right there, the Cannon crew.
Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, Gary. So
well,
we're going to hear the story.
Charlotte Boy? They lost.
They did lose.
Yes, they did.
Let's talk about what we want to talk about, right, Gary?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You didn't take the Cannon.
No.
We weren't here because I thought we were going to retire the Cannon.
You thought?
Yeah, and then Kevin Spade, the police chief, came to my house and said, "Why weren't you at the game?" And I said, "Well, just thought it was time to quit." And he said, "We really need that Cannon." And so he committed. He said, "I'll help you. We'll support the Cannon."
Nice.
And we would really appreciate it if you would continue.
Nice.
And so that's what we did.
And you did. And here you are again tonight.
Hey, this is great.
That was a short retirement, Gary.
Yeah, how was it while it lasted, huh?
You know, that line, they try to go out, get out, and they keep pulling you back. No,
So let's go back. You said after 9/11 on that day in 2000, after that year, that's when the Cannon started.
Oops.
Is that right?
yeah, we did.
How did that come to fruition?
Well, we didn't know. Keith Hausler and, want to watch this?
Yeah, look at that.
Complete.
Yeah.
Pass downfield.
Keith Hausler and was one of the guys, Dennis Angsbury. They both had boys playing,
Yep.
and they said, "We'll get permission to get the Cannon on the field." And I said to my wife, I said, "It'll never happen." But it did. And then I said, "Oh boy, now what are we going to do?" My wife was worried we were going to get in trouble with the ATF.
So it was your Cannon to begin with.
Oh yeah,
Those guys
I
wanted to
built
get
it.
You built that.
Yeah. The tube came from South Bend Replica in South Bend, Indiana, and I picked up parts and pieces in Niles, Michigan, Youngstown, Ohio, Petoskey for metal, and I put a carriage together, and we started experimenting with shots, and I think tonight was pretty good, wasn't it, so
Tonight's been
far?
sounding great. You've had plenty of opportunities to shoot it off. You built it like Johnny Cash, one piece at a time.
That's exactly right.
54, 55, 56, 56.
But you know, a lot of people have contributed over the years. I was thinking of Jim Harbeck. I don't know if he's in town or wherever he is now, but he was
Jim Hornbeck.
Hornbeck, yeah,
Hornbeck,
thank you.
Yep.
Peyton's dad.
Yep, he's down by Kalamazoo somewhere.
Is he?
Yep.
Well, he bought a lot of powder, and there was a lot of cans passed around for powder.
Yep.
Paul Barden and Barden and Son have been contributing a lot of powder
Paul
over
knows
the years.
a lot about that stuff.
Yeah. Yes, he does. So.
Well, so does Gary. Gary, you're humbled, but does a lot of work with the veterans and a chaplain, and
Yes, I am.
so Gary's involved in a lot of ways.
Well, I'm a veteran, and a lot of us
Yep.
are around.
Yep.
And I was raised on a farm, and I had rifles and shotguns my entire life, and hunted, and still do. But
Yep.
so there are a lot of guys that been associated with this endeavor, and it's really great. It is it's a tradition, and I'm really.
You started something.
Yeah, it is now a
Well,
tradition.
I started it, but a lot of people have carried it. You know,
Well, Gary, when you think about, when you see all the new faces in the stands these days, I mean, the Amesburys, they're still in the stands, but it's the third generation since Dennis. And these kids, that's all they've heard.
Yeah.
Every touchdown in their lives growing up, they're playing on the hill. They move up to the game.
Uh-oh, good
and
run,
you hear
good
the
run,
cannon. Look at
good
this.
run.
Owen Hewitt taking off. He breaks away at that speed.
Hey, I got to tell you, a story I heard that really got my heart. There's some guys in Afghanistan, and they were listening, I think, probably to RSN.
Yeah.
And they heard the cannon go off. They're in Afghanistan. They heard the cannon go off, and I said, "Wow."
You're worldwide, Gary.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You started this.
No,
Like it's such a big deal. Like when it's not here, people are like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" Right?
Well,
and it's such a big deal everywhere else. Like, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna shoot that dang cannon off."
Yeah, right. Because it's pointed right at this visiting team. So the visitors are looking at that thing, going, "Oh my gosh, they're gonna shoot that at us again."
That's a bad angle, Roger. It's not pointing at me. No.
It's more towards the road commission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, get over there and get a good look at it.
What we did last year, we got the wireless camera, which was a new feature on RSN, was asked to go, how far can that thing go? And here we go. The wireless camera sitting over there right now.
Look at that.
There's that angle.
That's cool. I like the looks of that.
Gary, I got to tell you, we were on the search for another cannon. we thought this was over.
So the word was out. Chuck was already getting to work, as he does.
We think there's one in Walloon.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't quite get to it. We didn't have to. Thank you.
That thing weighs a quarter ton. And every time we pick it up or move it, I feel it the next day. So that was part of the reason why we needed help. So it looks like we're going to get it.
We got plenty of muscle to get you to whatever you need.
No kidding. That team right there, that entire football team will come out Friday morning or during their lunchtime and get that loaded up for you for sure.
They all shook our hands tonight. Man, I'll tell you what, it's humbling. It really is. Those guys are great.
They were excited to have you back.
Well, I know that.
Super excited.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck, Gary told me this over the summer, and we and him hung out a little bit, and he said, I think I'm just going to retire. Well, you can't just unannounced retire.
Gary, no. It's like the Mafia, Gary.
He tried.
Once you're in, you're in.
You're in. He tried to get out, but that was a short-lived retirement.
That's like bad form.
Bad form.
That's right.
Trying to retire without any paperwork, no notice. And here you are, back in action.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you back.
Thanks so
Love
much.
to have you, Gary. Thanks for coming out. Keith, your sidekick over there through the years.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keith Hausler, Gary Crumbacher. We appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you very much.
The Cannon team. All right.